Casey was trying to fight Nico in the freaking check-in line at the Sarasota show. Bro, yes.
Wait, hold on.
Dude.
Because they were competing against each other or what?
Bro, they were in the line and Nico bumped into Casey. Nico turns around, was like laughing, like chuckling. He's like, "You okay, buddy?" He's like, "I'll fucking hit you." I'm like, looking at it. I thought it was a joke at first. So I'm like, because I was sitting on the bench across from him, just chilling.
Casey said that to Nico.
Okay, so they're standing in line like this. Like Nico's in front, Casey's behind him.
Yeah.
Nico's like elbow bumped him because he went to go talk to me. And then literally Casey's like, "Bro," he's like, "Back the fuck up." And then Nico's like laughing. He's like, thinking he's joking. And then he's like, "What's up?" And then Casey did it again, and then Nico's from the Marines. Like, Nico don't fuck around either. So Nico's like, "You want to fucking, what the fuck are you gonna do?" And they're in the line, and I'm sitting here like, "Oh, this is about to go down, bro." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Guys, calm the fuck down." Like, we're checking in, and Casey's just like all flamed up, and Nico's just sitting there laughing the whole time. But he's like, "If you want to, like, we will."
Yeah, we can go outside.
Like what?
Right now, stand up.
Like Nico doesn't care. Nico's hilarious. So
wow, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I've actually had that experience a lot right now, dude, with athletes that like, if they're competing against each other, they do this. And
it's
even
weird.
if they're on the same team, it doesn't matter. It's this. The whole fucking thing. It's insane.
I guess it's weird that you get to the show and it's an individual sport. It is. Okay. Absolutely. And you did everything that you could. Why the fuck are you worrying about someone else?
Yeah. Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
Regret.
Well, I think it's tough when you're on the same team, though. It's hard. Like, you know, you do have a competitive edge, but like, bro, Nico and like Casey, like, they're on the same. They're literally boys. Like, you probably been working out together this whole fucking time.
That's what I'm saying.
What are we doing?
There's no point.
It's the competitive athlete, man. It comes out of you. Yeah. But we're all ready, man.
We're here.
Let's go. We're here, guys.
Locked in.
Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. All right, guys. So this is something that the whole town has been wanting. For a while,
absolutely.
Okay? We got the famous Chris John. Okay, the biggest talker in town. Gotta be honest, instigator. He's on our podcast, guys. And why did he come on today?
All right, so I guess I'll kind of tell you what I told Jennifer at the gym. So at the beginning of our relationship, obviously, for one, like you just said, we're competitive people, right? So if we're in the same town, we are in a group chat, we are competitive with each other, and sometimes you take every little thing to heart. Or whenever it comes to the coaching game, right? If someone's doing something different, we sometimes get a God complex in our mind, and we're like, well, what we do is right, and what they're doing is wrong.
Yep.
And what my problem was, and I'll wholeheartedly admit it, I was just heavily I don't even know what this word would be. I scrutinize people very, very tremendously, and it almost gives me like a hatred into what they're doing. So what I would do, no, it's serious. So I would be like, why is he doing this? Without, for one, it's not even my business what the fuck you're doing, because I don't know your reasoning behind it. I don't know the history of an athlete or whatever that may be. Or on top of that, it's like, why would I care what another coach is doing? Because if they do fuck up, like, the athlete's going to leave them, right? So from the very beginning, I was very, whenever it regarded to you, I was very scrutinizing, and I don't think it was the right thing to do. And obviously there was all little things like we'd make up here and there, and then all of a sudden we'd get in a spat over some dumb shit where I would say something about the Melchansy show, or I would say something about Masters Pro cards, whatever that may be. And I think that sometimes we didn't understand where each other was coming from.
Right.
And what we would do is we'd put up this wall and basically say, fuck you. And then not like each other again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's really what it stemmed from. And then in the past couple of months, what I did is I took a step back and I started thinking to myself, like, why is my brain thinking this way? Like, why am I getting so caught up in other people's business? Or why do I care so much if this guy's wearing a belt at the gym to reduce his waist? Or why am I so worried about it? Because back in the day, I think I would have tried doing some of these things to be better, you know? Like, I didn't know any better on certain things, and I would try to do everything in my arsenal to be better. But now that I'm knowledgeable, I don't know why I was looking at people in a certain light and kind of judging them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I hit you up, and I was like, know what? I'm in a way better headspace now than I was. And let me put it this way. There's also hormones involved whenever I'm on prep, and it makes me a lot more, I guess you would say, edgy. So you add the diet.
Was it the trend? Was it the trend?
I don't say I take that. I'm not going to say I take that, but no. I think it's 100% that. I would wholeheartedly admit it. And being on a diet is just bad. And I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but I think that a lot of the times that we got in our spats were probably on my preps. Probably 6 to 8 weeks out, I'm irritable, and every little thing gets to me, and then I'm hypercritical of somebody, and then I come at you, and then what are you going to do? You're going to
Exactly.
Or come back at me. We're guys. That's what we do.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I've kind of taken a step back from all that if you haven't seen in the past few years, man. Like in the beginning, I would have really entertained it, but it wasn't just you, man. It was Dominic too. Like you guys hammered me in the beginning. Yeah. But before we even get into all that, I have a question for you, man. Did you or did you not sell Jack Panda fake shoes?
Okay, yeah, I'll get into that. So, yeah, so he basically, so what happens is I buy a lot of real shoes, and then there's also fake shoes involved, right? He was hitting me up about some shoes, right? And I said, hey, I can get you these Yeezy Glows for $200. Now, if you know anything about Yeezy Glows, real Yeezy Glows go for about $600 to $700 on the resale market. If I tell you that a Yeezy Glow is $200 that I'm getting you, usually someone's going to know that's a replica, okay? Maybe that's my bad judgment in assuming that someone would think that, but that's what it is, right? So I was like, hey, I can get these. And by the way, these shoes were for his son, right? So I'm thinking, okay, the kid's just going to beat him to shits. Like he's a soccer player. Like he's going to go kick a ball around. Like you don't want $700 Yeezys to go do these things. So I'm like, okay, he knows that these are replicas. Maybe he's just trying to make his son happy to be cool at school or whatever that may be, because you cannot tell the difference on those things. So I drove all the way up to Brandon to get these shoes off of Facebook Marketplace from this guy that had them, bought them, brought them all the way back. So I didn't need to, I wasn't picking up shoes for myself or anything. Drove all the way there, drove all the way back, gave him the shoes and everything. And about 2 days later, I get a nastygram of text. And he's like, you bought me fake shoes, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, like, I don't know if they are fake, but I'm pretty sure they're replicas. Like, they were $200. Like, why are we complaining? He's like, well, my son ran them through the legit check, yada, yada. I'm like, oh my God. But why was your son running them through the legit check? Which in my mind, I'm thinking, was he trying to profit off of my cheap purchase of going out and finding these shoes to go resell them for $600 or $700? Like, were you trying to use me to get these shoes to make a profit off of me whenever I was just trying to do you a favor? Because I think at that time he was my athlete. I was just trying to help a bro out. So that whole situation, for one, probably started from my, like I said, I have knowledge of the shoe game where if someone told me $200 for Yeezy Glows, I'm going to be like, they're replicas. There's no way, right? So I probably should have said something at the beginning, but I thought he assumed that because he already had shoes. Like he had Air Jordan 1s on all the time. Like he had all these expensive shoes. So I thought maybe, hey, you know the deal. Like it is what it is. Right. So that's kind of the story.
So they were fake, and you know, I think that maybe was where your beef kind of started with you and him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. What do you think?
I really don't want to talk bad about somebody on here, but it's an attitude thing. That was the main thing. And I know a lot of people have a great relationship with him, and he said very many nice things about me. Okay, he has, but there's times where I feel like he's a little bit bipolar, and there's times where he'll just snap on me for no reason. And that happened at our first show. I pulled up at the venue that I drove all the way up to Orlando to go see, and I get to the front of the hotel, and there's a gate to where there's a parking, and I think he had actually purchased I think he purchased a room for me that night, because I don't think I charged him monthly for coaching or anything like that, but he's like, I'll hook you up with a room since you coach me, yada, yada.
Right.
So I get there, and there's a gate with a key, and I don't have a key, and I think he had it. And I called him up. I'm like, hey, can I get to the key to the hotel? And dude, flipped the fuck out on me. Just flipped out on me. And he was like, give me a fucking second, yada, yada, yada. I'll be there, bro. Like freaking out. I'm like, yo, like, and literally Caitlin was in the car with me. She hits end. She hangs up and she's like, you're not going to let a guy talk to you like that. And I was like, kind of like just taking it. Like I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was like, okay, like it's the day before the show. I understand how stressed you are. Like I get it. So I let it go. Then we get up into the room and we're doing a back pose. And this can also be my problem as a coach too, is we were going through a back pose for a good, dude, we might've been at this for an hour and a half. And he kept making the same mistake over and over and over. So eventually I got an attitude. I'm like, just relax. I'm like, just relax your arms on your lats. That's all you have to do. And then he was like, why are you getting it? So we got into another spot. I'm like, okay, dude, like whatever. We ended up winning that show, by the way. We got first place. Okay. I know Duke said that he didn't have any first places before him, but Jeff had a first place. We won at the South. I think it was a Southern Muscle.
Southern USA or something like
that.
Or was it Orlando?
We won, yes. Yeah. We won there. So he did good. And then after that, I think he had some health complications and we stepped. Obviously, at that point, there was probably some things that happened in the background that we just went our separate ways. And I found out he was with Duke. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could get into all that, man. There's so much to talk about. Yeah. You know, I want to really focus on me and you because we have had a battle the past few years, right? And an absolute war, actually. So I don't know what it is, man. Like some people think like you're just an asshole. Like some people think you're jealous. Some people, I've heard that you could be just gay for me. I don't know, bro. You know, I've heard it all at this point. What is it?
So to be honest, I don't even remember like why our beef started. Like that's how, I think that's another reason why I hit you up, because I think it was ridiculous at this point. I was like, what's the original fucking reason why we were in this position? And I think I do remember like the original, like where our little attitude spat came by is I think it was at around the clock, and I was walking out during a prep and I was dead tired after like 45 minutes of cardio doing a workout. And I think you said something like, hey, you look really good or something like that, like go kill your show. And I probably disregarded you. And I think you got pissed off that I disregarded you. I probably seemed like an asshole, but I was like, I'm getting the fuck out. I'm going to eat. Like I'm going to go get my 100 carbs or 75 grams, whatever I was on at that point. It was probably nothing. So that's probably where it started, because I think we got into spat after that. And then ever since then, I think once we had that spat, our shield or our wall got built up.
Right.
And I don't think we ever trusted each other after that.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's been multiple things after that have came along that probably, if we look back at it now, like I went through some of our messages last night because I was like, I need to prepare myself for this. Like, what did I say? No, I was like, what did I say to this guy? Like, I don't even remember. Because
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah. And I started looking back and I'm like, we had a lot of good conversations. And then all of a sudden, one thing where maybe I said something about you or you said something about me, and we just went off after that, you know? So like the last thing that I remember that we got in a spat about was the Melchansy show. And I'll clear up exactly what I meant by that. And I think that we were definitely on a different page there. So I went to that Melchansy show, and Melchansy puts on a great show. Like, dude, I love that guy. He puts on some of the best shows. But that specific show, whenever it came to the athletes, it was one of the worst shows that I had been to. Okay. And I was there for Elise at that time. And because I think Casey was dating her or whatever, I was there. And I started seeing the competition. I'm like, this is terrible. Like whenever I started competing, like these local shows, there was a lot of great competitors whenever they were up on the stage. And I posted that. I said, hey, that was one of the worst shows I have been to in a while as it pertains to the athletes. I don't know who any of the athletes were. I said it because that's true to my heart. I believe that. And I basically said that if you win that show and you think that you're going to go to nationals and do very good, you have another thing coming.
You know what I think it is, man? I think that your approach to things need a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? They need a lot of fucking work. And I think that you have to understand, man, that people that did that show, you know, took that very much to heart, you know? And it is a local show, right? You got to be careful with how much shit you talk about local people. Like, I think that's where it is. And because we were at that show and I had, 10 athletes on that show? I don't even know. Every single one of them took it to heart, right? So you got a big backlash from that. And maybe you need to start thinking, like, before you post stuff like that, that it's going to hurt the athletes, man. Because there was a lot of people that busted their ass, even though they didn't look the best and maybe didn't look up to Chris John's thing. It is a local show, right? National shows are where you bring that competition. And people always get on Matt's ass about, oh, he always does fucking Melchansy shows. They're easy shows. I tend to disagree, right? I really do. I think there's always quality. And in that show alone, you know, Raven got her overall finally. Brianna fought for the overall. Elise won her overall. She was very mad at you, by the way, because it was just kind of a dick move, right? Because a lot of the local people went there, right? And Elise was very upset because that was maybe when something happened to you guys. I don't know. But I remember she was texting me, I can't believe he'd say some shit like that. So what do you have to say to those athletes that you hurt?
I meant every single word of what I said. I'm not going to backtrack on something that I said. Elise could have been more conditioned. If she would have went on the national stage in a week or two, she would have got beat and she would have been in third callouts. Just like me. I go to these shows. I get third callouts. I placed 16th. I placed 10th. I played 6th, right? I've had all these different placings. I never get mad at the placings because I deserve what I got, okay? And I have the knowledge, and I've been to very many national shows, local shows, and pro shows to where I can stand there, and if you're going to be a serious competitor and you're going to do this sport, and I know she is a very serious competitor, just like I know that the Sarasota realtor guy is also a serious competitor, I meant that statement. I go, I saw you guys, you won the overall, but in my opinion, and it's an opinion. You don't need to take it for anything. There's other people that have amazing opinions about me. It's great. But you know what? That's their opinion and that's okay. And you can take it and look within yourself and be like, hey, maybe I need to be a little bit more conditioned. I told that to Elise straight to her face. I said, you need to be a little bit more conditioned. I think you could have been drier. And if you showed up like that, or even just a little tad, tighter, I still don't think you would have placed that well at that show. So it's one of those things where I'm not going to backtrack the things that I say. Now, can I go about the way I say things sometimes, it seem like I say it very dickishly. Absolutely. And that's, if you see my stories, they haven't been that way. They have not been that way.
I don't know. What do you think, Dustin? What do you think about that statement?
I mean,
turn in a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think everybody has a right to their opinion, and their opinion is their opinion. So, I mean, I've been to many shows as well, and I can definitely tell when their competition could be a little bit better at that show. Am I going to say that one? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll be on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that there has to be a level of professionalism in bodybuilding, especially if you want to succeed in this life. Trust me, like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you don't have the best reputation because of the shit you've said, right? We're getting the master shit. You're going to hammer.
That's going to be the best.
That's going to be a good one. But I'm saying,
I'm going to change your mind
sometimes,
on that
man,
one.
you could think something, but you don't say it. It's like you don't always have to go out there and say what everyone else knows.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I disagree. I do think there were some amazing athletes, right? I think it's almost a slap on the face to them. So I hopefully someday they can get an apology from you. I was hoping we can get it here, but if that's not going to happen, that's fine.
I have one question to follow up on that.
All right, let me hear it.
What is this sport based off of?
What do you
mean? What is the criteria? Like, what kind of sport is this?
It's not a Chris John sport. It's not a Chris John hating on people's sport, but it is bodybuilding. It's subjective. It's judging.
Subjective, exactly. So every fan is subjective in what they see on that stage. That's why every post you go on to Men's Physique News, Classic Physique News, IFBB Central, whatever that may be, there's always going to be opinions on there. Now, if we respond to every single one of those opinions, be like, you're wrong, no one's wrong.
Right.
No one's wrong. So we could literally argue about this back and forth all day long, but you have your own opinion and I have mine, and that is totally fine in this sport. You know what I'm saying?
And that's fine, but don't you care a little bit about what people think about you? Like, you got to care a little bit, I know you do. I know you do.
I care, but in the context of why do I care about that? Like, why do I care about that person's feelings towards me? So, like, I'm trying to put this into words that are more appropriate for what I'm trying to get across. So if that person has an opinion on me based on, I'll give an example for like Elise, right? Whenever you're a very strict competitor and you have high goals and I give you a subjective opinion and you take that so to heart that you hate me over that opinion, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Now, if I say something dickishly on my story and random people watch it and then they hate me for it, yes, that does bother me, because sometimes my stories, like I said, aren't who I am. Okay. I do say things compulsively or impulsively, and it gets me into trouble. And I will 100% agree with you on that. That's actually why me and Casey had a big downfall a couple months ago, because I was saying shit that didn't need to be said.
Yeah.
Okay. And I retracted. I made my apologies on that instance. So I guess it comes to a give and take on certain situations, and that's why I'm here today, is because I took a step back, looked at myself, and I was like, this whole thing isn't worth it. Like, the things that I said wasn't worth it. So,
and like I said, we're going to talk about some negative shit first, and then there is a lot of positivity, right?
Yeah.
We'll break it up a little bit, give you a little bit of positivity. You did make a video on us, which I truly appreciate, right? I reposted it to Team Warrior. You pretty much said that I was at the show, I think it was Sarasota, and you seen all these coaches running around. That meant a lot to me, meant a lot to the team. And I think, again, that makes everybody look at you like in a very nice, respectful way, right? You can't always just keep hammering people 100%. Left and right. And I kind of get on that too. We talk about fat people all the time on here and shit. I got to stop doing that. But it's something I'm very fucking passionate about, right?
Yeah.
I don't like fat people. Well, I don't like fat people. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get in trouble for that one too. Yeah. But I just don't really think that there should be fat trainers. Like, we've talked about this many times. But between me and you, man, that meant a lot to us. So give us a little rundown. Why did you make that post?
For one, I saw you guys running around like crazy. And I think even at that time, I was still mad at you guys. I'm like, there's those motherfuckers. God damn it, dude. Like, I'm in the back just like these But no, I saw you guys running around. That's another time. Like, sometimes whenever I'm calm and I'm clear-headed, I'm like looking around, seeing what you guys were doing. I was like, you know what? Like, I consider myself a different coach. Like, I have 2 other jobs. I'm not a full-time coach, okay? I'm not going to act like I want to do this for a living. I'm not that type of person. I think that's another thing that goes with my personality, and where you just asked me, do I care what people think? It's almost to the point where I don't care, because I don't need the coaching thing at that point. So whenever I saw you guys doing that, I'm like, that's something that I couldn't do. Okay, like, I'm not that team camaraderie type of people that wants to bring 20 people to a show. I can't handle that. I tried doing that before. I had literally, I think it was like around 40 clients at one time, and I couldn't handle it with all the other things that I had in my life. So for you guys to be able to do this and do this full time, I respect the shit out of that. I know how hard it is and how much work. And like we were talking about before the cameras turned on, the psychology of every single athlete that's back there, having to calm them down, every single person also has a different diet. And every single person has different drugs. Some don't have drugs. Some do have, So seeing you guys do that at the show, I was like, you know what? There is a difference between the things I do and the things that they do. And that is what makes this sport so special, is because that athlete can go pick that coach that basically speaks to them. Some of us, we like with me, I'm with Ariel Cuts. The dude is cutthroat. I do not get a compliment until maybe the night before the show, whenever I peaked and I'm looking good. Like, I don't get anything. I get mostly, you look okay. Things like that, And some people can't take that. They need that.
I can't take that.
They need that validation real
quick. All the time.
No, it's actually so true. I don't think you understand exactly how much, because like I said, you're not doing this full time. Like, I'm doing this full time. He's doing this full time. It doesn't matter how many times you compliment somebody. If you even say the one little thing, and with some of these athletes, their whole entire brain spirals, and they think they're shit, and they're done, and then they're not doing the cardio, and they think they're fat, and they're not going to win. It's unbelievable.
So think about that. For how many athletes you guys bring to a show, think about how many times in that past 6 weeks that you guys had to deal with things like that.
Every day.
And people don't really think about that. And it's literally psychology on a day-to-day basis. Like, you'll be hanging out like during your own alone time, trying to relax, and you'll get 3 WhatsApp messages or something like, dude, did I cook this steak right? And you're like, did you put it on the stovetop? Like, well, how else do you want it? Like, how have you been cooking it for the past 6 weeks? Like, what changed today? Or like, I had a message from a client literally that had left me for 2 months. He gained 30 pounds in 2 months after he left me. He's like, bro, I need to get back with you. What can we do?
Not much.
And this was at 11 o'clock at night. Nice. And that's what what you guys are doing every single day, So I think that's the main reason why I was like, you know what, like, I need to give them a shout out, and I need their people to realize that I respect the hell out of what you guys do, because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, we appreciated that. And that's why I wanted to break it up and give you a big thank you, because that really did mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? So back to the negative shit.
Yeah, let's
that's
go.
What everyone's
I love the negative
here,
stuff.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay. When me and Alice went to nationals, right? You were blocked at this point. You're probably blocked for 1.5 years at this point.
Oh, easily.
Right?
Easily. Yeah.
Okay.
Easily.
All right. So you went on about a 4-minute rant. I'll screen record it. 4-minute rant, talking shit about me and Alice, right? Saying that we won because of drugs, which is crazy. If you knew what that girl was taking, like nothing. A big rant. And I think that's when I was just like, what is going on? I thought you were tapped, bro. I'm
I
like,
probably
why?
was, honestly.
You probably fucking were. Like, why are you going on a 4-minute rant with me? You remember we posted the popcorn thing, and like, it was just the whole thing. And Alice was very upset about that, because this is the thing. It's almost like you wanted to take that one away from us. You know what I'm saying? And as you know, drugs are in bodybuilding, bro. So to me, when you made that statement, like, I was just like, for one, you don't even know what she was taking. We can talk about it off. It was nothing, guys.
That's what I mentioned before, is I didn't
shocked.
know what you guys were doing. Yep.
Absolutely shocked. People think that you'd be shocked. Anyway, I fit model girls were taking more than she was taking fucking right now, honestly. But give me your mindset, man. Where was your head at that point? Why did you make that video?
So we have to go back to what I said earlier on in this video, where I was very hypercritical of other people and what they did. Okay. So we were at the Melchansy show. Was it in St. Pete?
Yep.
Or something? And you had put her in wellness. That pissed me off, because you look at her and it screamed bikini. And here's, again, I don't know the backstory to that, but I was like, how is Matt, a high level coach, putting her in a wellness competition? And she slayed with a slayed bikini. What did she do? She went to Junior USA's and slayed bikini. So I think I got so mad, because I'm like, for one, she's talented. Okay. What don't I have? That talent on my roster. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, what why did he think that? So I think I got really worked up. And then another thing while we were backstage, she had made a little side comment about my athlete saying marshmallow conditioning. She looked at him, spat, and she looked at me and goes, marshmallow conditioning, and then walks by. So I'm like, all right, bitch, like, we'll go. So now I'm going to talk shit. So that's where that originated from.
Gosh.
So we were upstairs in that little, that little loft thing, and she said that shit. do I know if it was against me? I think it was. I don't know. I can't prove it. But I heard it. I was
it's probably definitely against you for sure. So, and Alice is about that life. So
exactly.
She, you know.
So then I was like, all right, now it's in my radar. I'm going full speed. So I did that. I don't even remember that rant, to be honest. Right. And that's what I'm saying. I was mad. I was mad, and I went off. And
yeah. So a little backstory. Right. Yeah. Alice is Brazilian. Okay. Yep. What do Brazilians want to do?
Just do bodybuilding.
They want to do wellness, amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Brazilians want to do fucking wellness. So it was almost impossible for me to even. I literally told her, bro, 3 weeks out, I'm like, we could win nationals in bikini right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing fucking bikini, man. I'm wellness. I'm Brazilian. Okay, cool. Right. She lost. Right. David told us after the show, you would have won. She was still kind of hesitant to at the show.
Yeah.
They slammed her and gave her second. Even though arguably the judge, David was like, dude, I could have gave you first here. Honestly, I could have. Based on the condition, I could have give you first. Yeah. But because you're so good in this other class, I had to give you second so you can come talk to me. Yeah. We went, got the overall at the next weekend, 3 weekends later. Then yes, we did get the overall. Now the rest is history, right? But the whole marshmallow condition, man, that thing was, I don't even know who it was, the classic kid or something. You know who it is, classic something. He was around town. That's where the marshmallow thing came out of. Because I got hammered by all of you guys. And you want me to be honest, bro? I wasn't our top level coach when I was coaching Alice, bro.
Yeah.
I was just getting started, and that's where it was like, there's a lot of coaches in this town that are just getting started. I don't hammer them, bro. I truly don't hammer them. You're not going to see me go on rants about them because they are just getting started. At this point, you and Dominic are doing this for years ahead of me, right? So I didn't know shit. I didn't know that people. I thought HH was the worst dog in the fucking world. I thought you were going to die, right? Let's be honest. Back in the day, that's what I did. Made many rants on that. I'm sure I looked fucking retarded if I can go back, but I didn't understand like anything about really bodybuilding. I mean, when I was coaching Alice, I was good. I was finding my rhythm, but I understand why you were doing that. I just felt a huge attack, man, and it really drove me.
Yeah.
And my success really has a lot to do with you and Dominic and how much shit you guys talked about me.
And I was going to say too, back then I wasn't empathetic at all, and I think that what I was seeing, and I was younger then too. Obviously, I was probably like, what was that, 5 years ago almost at this point?
6 maybe.
Yeah, it's a while. And I was looking at you thinking, I put in so much work. So I guess this would be a jealousy thing. So whoever clients that said that, it could be right, okay? And I feel like there's some things that you might have been jealous to me about on certain levels. You know, we both have that in us. But I think I looked at her and I was like, this guy just started coaching. I have so much knowledge, and like he's doing this to her. And it pissed me off down to the core. And I'm like, why can't I have that? You know, why can't I guess, get the success that he's getting, and he doesn't have the amount of knowledge as me? It's just a stupid way to think of things. And the people that actually kind of turned me around was also actually your past athlete, Philip, because we were talking about you with Chris Massaro, who's obviously both of our brother. Yeah. And I think I was being hypercritical about something of you. And they just said, hey, like, why are you thinking this way? And they were like, just kind of made me take a step back. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, why am I being hypercritical of him? Because maybe he's still learning about the subject, or maybe he hasn't dealt with this before. I'm like, why am I so like intertwined with someone else's shit? And I was like, you guys are right. I was like, what am I doing? And then as like the months progressed, I started thinking more and more about that. Like, why am I so concerned? And that's where that had came from. That whole jealousy thing with Alice is just being too intertwined in your shit. And instead of teaching you or saying, hey, why did you do this? Or asking you a question, I made an assumption. Just like I made assumptions before. It's all assumption making.
Right.
You know, so.
I totally agree with that. And, you know, I don't think you understand where me and Alice started, bro. You know, you might think
that, I remember.
I don't think the world knows when I picked up Alice, bro. She didn't have much muscle. She barely went, like, I think she went to the gym, but not much. She didn't really know anything. And I just kind of took her underneath my wing, and the rest is history, right? Like, she didn't know anything about bodybuilding in December. So I created that. I gave all my love and passion into her to create her. And the reason why she is where she is because of, honestly, my lack of, care for myself, to be honest with you. I only cared about her, and I wanted to fuck her to win, period. I knew I saw something in her that was rare, and I wanted to really feed that. So I don't think you understand how much work went into that. But that being said, you know, let's get back. So the reason why I made the group chat, you remember that when I made the group chat back in the day?
100%.
Why do you think I made the group chat?
I think you needed something externally to motivate you to push yourself to a prep to beat us and beat everyone else.
See, that's your head, right? I made the group chat, bro, because I didn't really know much about bodybuilding, right? I made the group chat to hopefully be like, hey, man, if I have a client that is having water tension issues. I have these guys that I respect that I can go to and be like, hey, look, this is what's going on, right? I need help, guys. That's why I made the chat. Not really for me. I was thinking it was more, it would be cool for everyone to get together because it just wasn't around at that point. Yeah. And then that all fell apart very quickly. Dominic, I mean, he'll never be on this podcast. I do not like him. He's the devil worshiping piece of shit. But that's just whatever, you know. I think with you, it's a little bit different, right? I think that we've always had that enemy like in us, but it was just all stupid shit.
I think it's because we respect each other so much that we want to be better than each other. And I think that created animosity that wasn't necessary.
See, I think that's your head though. I think that's your head because I never want to be better than anybody. I just want to get that off there. I didn't care, bro. I want you to be successful. I want Big Sur to be successful. He's been on this podcast multiple times, right? If you look at the history of the past few years, I've only been supportive of him, right? Because we've never had any beef and 100%. He's grown so much. I'm super proud of him. And I think if you would have looked at it like that, it would have been, but I never competed against you. I was only competing against myself at that point. I'm just gonna be honest. But big thing, I think you had bad timing, man. You know what I'm saying? Your timing is fucking horrendous. And we're gonna get on a big subject, okay? And it's Masters Pro Cards, okay? So the problem with you, bro, is that me and another coach in town, we have 10, let's say we have 7 athletes going to Masters shows. You decide the day before we get on stage to post that Masters Pro Cards aren't real. Like you had all your whole life to post that, but you chose to do it right before we had athletes at the stage. So I obviously you believe that, but why did you pick that time to do it?
So I'll backtrack to what you just said. There's no problem with me, okay? That's not a problem for my opinion on these things. So I'll give you a perfect example, and if you believe that this is on the same level after what I say, there's nothing I can help you on this. So I compete at Universe. I don't know if this was last year or the year before. And obviously I didn't get my pro card. It's top 2 in your class at Universe. I think I got 10th there. The guy who I placed above got 16th, went into Masters. He got 16th in the open class, got his pro card in Masters, okay? So if we had an NFL draft, okay, and the first 7 rounds go through, you don't get picked. Then all of a sudden they go, oh, we're going to have an old guys draft. We're only going to be able to pick these. But hey, you guys that didn't make this draft, you young guys that are really, really good, you guys aren't allowed in this. We're only going to pick from this pool. So you over here have more opportunity at a pro card. Now, let me preface this before we go on. Okay, I'm going to be Masters this year. I do not want to do or get my pro card in Masters because in my head, it will not be an achievement for me because I know that there's more of an opportunity to get it through Masters because if I don't lose an open, okay, I have another chance over here. Okay, I've always wanted to do in an open. That's my belief. That's what I think bodybuilding is. And I think that the NBC and the IFBB have created all these divisions to grow the sport, and it's great. It's awesome. From whenever we first started, there was literally just bodybuilding. And then all of a sudden, Men's Physique came out, and Chris Massaro was like, oh, you can do this. I can. Okay, so what I see and what I meant by that statement, which a lot of people don't ask me to clarify the things that I say. They just say, this guy fucking said this, and he doesn't like us, and he's jealous of us. I'm not jealous. If I never win a pro card, I will not be mad. I feel like you have the same exact thing.
No, I'm never going to pro card.
Exactly. So I will not be mad. I gave it my all. And did I fuck around a lot and like do stupid things and cheat on my diets? Yeah, I've done that, okay? I'm okay with my work I put in. But to be at a show where you beat a guy and then he goes and he does 35 up or 40 up and he walks away with a pro card walking past you and you already beat that guy and now he's able to compete on an,
You're good. You're good.
Then you go and compete with the open guys that won open pro cards. Okay. I don't like that. I wish there was something that the NBC could put in place to where if you get your Masters Pro card, you have to do a Masters Pro show. Okay. Then if you win the Masters Pro show, that qualifies you to get into the open rounds. To compete. I want something like that.
Yep.
You know, so because I feel like there's so many pro cards being in. It's like, dude, there's guys that, and I know it's an accomplishment. It's great. I think these guys look amazing. I'm never taking away what these guys do, but what my problem with the whole Masters Pro card thing is that you're almost taking away opportunities from the younger guys or giving them less opportunity, almost like a DEI case, right? It's like what Trump was trying to get rid of. It's like these guys don't have very many options to get a pro card versus these guys that have a lot. So that was my kind of interpretation on it.
And I want to say I agree with you on a lot of those topics, right? I don't know if you saw my last podcast, but I went pretty off on it, right? Like, I'll say it again. I don't want to go to an open show and to see the best of the best and see the same 6-year-old bikini girl walking around in the open. I'm sorry. Like, the open is the best of the best. I completely agree. I think we all agree about that, right? But on the other flip coin of that is that you do have guys, man, that like he's, what were you, 37, 38 at that time? Mm-hmm. We won the whole fucking overall. You know, we didn't even need to do Masters. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying that I want to go back to what I first said. We'll get on the Master stuff, but it's your timing, bro. Okay, so this is the problem, is you have bad timing. Okay, so when you posted that, it was right before me and another coach in town had athletes going on stage. Did you do it because you just wanted to throw shade at us? Because it was about me and this other coach. You know it was.
You talking about you? Are we talking about Duke?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100% was about it. Wasn't about you. You were not on my mind at that time.
No,
it
so
was
it's
Duke,
just
100%,
straight up.
because Jeff was my client.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
100%. It was Jeff. And
so were you more like jealous that maybe he's going to get the pro card and you weren't able to achieve that with Jeff, or he left you?
No. I'm not mad about the whole pro card thing at all. I think what makes me mad is that you have somebody that wins a master show thinking that they're on the same level as a guy that won it on the open side. Mm-hmm. And that boils my blood, because I see it happening firsthand in the classes that I do. And it's like, they couldn't even get 16th place. Like, you were down the list on the 16th, and now you want a pro card over here. So whenever I was thinking that, heck yeah, it was perfect timing for me, because I wanted to stir the pot. You know me, I wanted to stir the pot at that time in my life. I wanted that attention to come in my inbox and people get mad at me. And sometimes it motivates me that way. Mm-hmm. That's how I was. So I was like, hey, this is a perfect time. Fuck you. I'm going to post it. You know, like
I guess. But you didn't know that I had Natalia and Jen hitting the stage next. And don't get me wrong, Natalia is doing the Open. That's all she wants to do. She's like you. I'm turning pro in the Open. If I'm not good enough, I don't fucking care. Yep. The girl's good enough, I think. She's fucking insane. But you know, I just think that sometimes, man, you got to choose your timing. You know what I'm saying? But like, you did it for purpose. So hey, whatever, man. If it wasn't towards me, it is what it is. But let's get back to Masters Pro cards, right? Mm-hmm. Because I think that a lot of these Masters competitors will take this one to heart, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe we could clarify that a little bit. I think that there are Masters shows for a reason, right? There's Masters Pro shows for a reason. You got 35, 40, 45, and it gives somebody some hope, man. You know what I'm saying? It gives somebody hope that, like, you know what, man, even though I'm 40 years old, I can get in the best shape of my life and be competitive, because a lot of people, especially women, a lot of women aren't really competitive their whole life, right? They're raising kids. Jen raised 4 freaking kids, man. The girl busts her fucking ass. It gives her an outlet to be able to compete. And we did try and Open. We always tried, right? It's just, we were right there. We should have won the fucking USAs. I think we got robbed there, but I'm always going to say that. But then she did turn pro in the Masters. This gives girls opportunity and people to compete later in life. And I'm not going to take anything away from that. The one thing I agree, I think that they need to have some switches, man. I don't think that they should have the Master shows and the Open shows on the same day and then allow, I'm okay if they do it, fuck it. But I think what would save a lot of that is having the Master show on like a Friday, Open show on the Saturday. That way, if you think you're good enough, jump in it. Because if you look at some of these people in the world, man, like the second place, I think her name is Natalia. Maybe it's not Natalia, but second place figure. She's 52, bro. 51, 52. Mm-hmm. She's second in the whole world. Mm-hmm. So she was good enough. And if you say you can only compete there, it's like,
I think what you're saying is almost proving my point, though, because, okay, I've been at this since 2000. I've been doing national shows since 2017. I think you have since 2016.
15.
Yeah. So I'm at it. I'm still going at it. Okay. And I will do everything I can to try to get an Open pro card. And that is okay if you don't win one. And I think that it almost becomes a participation trophy at a certain point, where this sport is for the genetically elite people. Okay, you won your pro card because you put in a bunch of work, but you also have great genetics. I mean, I remember you on Generation Iron posing next to one of my good friends, Callum. Yep. Right? I remember. No one knows that about you. No one knows that about you. So anyways,
surprise you.
I know a lot. Okay. So I've been in this game for a while, and I think that that's okay to not win something. And whenever I made the statement, Masters Pro cards aren't real, Masters Pro cards are real. What I'm saying,
clip it, stop it, guys. That's it. Podcast is over.
What I'm trying to say is that they are not the same as an Open pro card. Now, like you said, I think they can prove themselves, and also, like you are a great Open competitor. You won the overall at Junior USAs. You didn't need to go to the Masters. Why? Because you were good enough. Not everyone's going to be good enough, and that is okay.
Yeah,
that is okay.
So what if you had like your dad, man, that was like, you know, dude, I just want to get the best shape of my life. I want to go compete, man. Like, I want to compete against not only a bunch of 6-year-olds, but good 6-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
I want to make it to the IFBB, and I want to compete against 6-year-olds. What do you have to say to those people?
That's great. That's amazing. And that's what a Masters Pro show should be about. The thing that sucks the most is you see a 6-year-old guy. He looks amazing. Okay, he looks amazing. Oh, yeah. You bring him out with these young guys, and I know they're shredded, they're ready. They want to do that extra, get that extra stage time. but it doesn't look right. It doesn't. And if they're with the rest of the 6-year-olds, hell, they look freaking great. And that's okay. We're at a certain time of our life and we're all going to hang up the shorts one day or our thongs, whatever the hell we wear. Right. Okay. And that, I just think that a lot of people need to realize that it's okay to not always be the best, or it's okay to be excluded from certain things.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, I can definitely agree with both on the Masters side of things. It definitely takes a lot of effort, a lot of different challenges in order to get to where you need to get in an older stages in life, right? We have a lot more problems as we get older, right?
Bro, I'm about to buy a walker for this month.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot more. We have kids. There's more responsibility, right? So there are a lot of challenges involved. So there's nothing to take away from like the process and the direction, how to get there, right? But as you're saying, for sure. I mean, a Masters Pro card. I mean, when I first started, I always thought about wanting to get a pro card, and I definitely didn't want to get a Masters Pro card, and I felt like that was a handicap. You know what I mean? And nothing against Masters Pro cards or anything like that. I never competed in Masters until my last competition, period, and that was as a pro.
Yeah. You got third, right?
Yeah, I got third.
Yeah, you looked amazing,
right?
Yeah.
And so it's not like I'm against it. I mean, we're going to go for potentially the Masters Olympia this year. We're going to see about that. But I never had any ambition in competing in the Masters. I wanted to be an Open. I wanted to go to the Olympia. I want to step on the Olympia stage. And so it's nothing to take away from the fact that you got a pro card as a Masters, but it's more, and I like what you're going with it as well. Like if you did get your pro card on the Masters stage, if you did as a Masters pro wanted to compete in the Open, you have to win your class in the Masters. I think that would be a great kind of like way to get you in there. You just can't, all right, you want a Masters pro card, now you can compete in the Open. And
like, look at Arya.
For sure.
I think it was the Tampa Pro last
year.
Maybe it was time flies.
No, it's 51, right?
He looks amazing.
Yeah.
Insane. And he's winning Open shows.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
did the Masters,
Yeah.
won. Good. You belong there.
Yeah.
You belong there. But if you are getting 8th place at a Master show, that's my opinion. I don't want to see you on
You know
Open.
what it is too, man? Let's be honest. Like, it's about the money, bro. Like, let's be honest.
100%.
It's about the money, man. Like, I personally don't agree with 35 plus. I don't agree with it because I don't think you're Masters, bro, till you're 40.
You're not.
You're
That's
just
your prime,
not, bro.
your prime.
Your prime is 35.
Yeah.
Like, look at the best
Hell
volleyballers
yeah.
in history, bro. It's 35.
yeah.
I'm
Like,
hitting my stride right now.
I felt great at 35. Dude.
Yeah, dude, I feel amazing, and I'm making the best gains of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't believe 35. You're right. I don't believe 35.
that's where like I can agree with you, but I think it's just it's your the way you come about shit.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's
100%.
the way you come about shit. You need to soften your damn approach, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I have been doing
because
that.
bitch,
I have.
you
I
a lot of people getting upset.
And that's okay. And
know?
I think that's another thing too, is that people need to stop getting upset at other people's opinions. Just calm down. Like, it's okay. Now, if you're talking shit, that's one thing, which happens a lot in this town for no reason. And it's one of the things, like, me and you, we talk shit to our faces. We do. We get in the DMs. We're like, fuck you. Like, this is how it is. We'll make stories. Like, we're in each other's faces. But it's the shit talk that's behind the scenes is what bothers me the most.
Let's talk about that, man. Because here's the thing, bro. You know, you could say you have Chris John's team, right? You got Big Serv's team.
Yep.
You got Matt's fucking team, Team Warrior, right? Bro, y'all talk some shit, bro. You know, I hear every word you guys say, man. Like, and it's crazy to me is they're talking shit to my teammates, like about me, like my clients about me coming from your team. So I think that's where a big problem lies. But I want to get to something really important here. Okay, so you posted a reel, right? It says, me to the one guy who sucks all the promoters' wieners in Sarasota.
Yeah, you do, baby. You do. No, he knows he does. He knows he does. Okay.
No, I don't. But here's the thing. There ain't no dick sucking. I'm gonna be honest, bro. You know me. You know I'm straight. I think that is just ridiculous, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. I think you get a little bit salty when Matt wins teams awards, right? Like, we get to win the team award.
I almost Kanye'd you guys and Taylor Swift up on that stage at the Sarasota show, by the way. Wow, whatever. I was, oh my. So okay. Hey, no, hold on. You guys are, this is good content right here.
Let's go.
So, I told my athletes at the beginning, because I had some heavy hitters.
You did great.
Yeah.
I can't
So
say
I'm
anything
very
with me.
confident, right? So I told my athletes, hey, whenever you guys go to the meeting in the morning, talk about the team award, like find out how we win the team award.
Yeah.
Like, is it a placing thing? Is it the amount of people, whatever that may be? And what I'm about to tell you is wholeheartedly the truth. I do not want you to think I'm just lying for this podcast. I'm about to tell you the whole truth.
I know the whole truth.
So not what my mindset was. Hold on. So he's getting ahead of this shit. Look at this. So my clients come back and they're like, hey, they didn't say, because, okay, Nico DM'd the promoter. I think it was, is it Becky is her name?
Holly.
Oh, yeah.
Holly Beck. Sorry.
Secret. Come on.
See, I don't suck them. So, anyways, sorry, Holly. I did not. That was bad. All right. So, he messaged her and said, hey, what do we do about the team award? Like, how do we sign up? She goes, oh, they're going to mention it at the athletes meeting. So we're like, okay. So my athletes come back from the athletes meeting. They're like, oh, they didn't mention anything about the team award. So I was like, oh, maybe they're not doing it at this show. That's cool. Like, whatever. So then my team freaking swept it. Like, they did amazing. Yep. I mean, obviously the competition that we had at that show, it wasn't the same. Like, I think you had Natalia, which was your best person.
Yep.
And then you had Philip, who he knows he looked like crap. Like, he knows what he did. He went to the hospital after because he's an idiot. But anyways, I love you, Philip. All right. But so that happened. And I was backstage talking to, I think it was Kyle or something, getting him ready for the stage. And I was literally telling my teammates, I was like, hey, if I win the team award, I'm going to bring Matt up here and bring him up with me and be like, hey, I'm not the only team here. Like, these guys put in a lot of work. These guys have a lot of people backstage. I wholeheartedly was going to bring you guys up there. And I think it wasn't that I was mad that you guys won the team award. I was back there talking to Colin, and all of a sudden I hear you guys on stage accepting an award. And I'm like, well, how did this happen? Like, why was there no discussion of how we could have won it? Like, what's going on? So at that point, I was wholeheartedly jealous. I was like, I got my guys looking fucking crazy. We won an overall. We won bodybuilding. We did all these. We had good guys in men's physique. And I'm like, what the hell? But then I think you guys had a lot more athletes than us. So I think it was an athlete number thing. But I was like, know what? Like, I think I was more disappointed because I really wanted to show Sarasota camaraderie at that point, and I didn't get the opportunity to do it. And was it to maybe make me look good? Yeah, I kind of wanted some. I wanted to look better to the athletes in the area and all those things. And for me not to get that opportunity to show that I actually respected what you guys did really fucking hurt me.
Yeah,
it did. So I'll wholeheartedly admit that. And I was salty as hell, not towards you guys, but salty at the show for not being able to even have a reason, or nothing was explained.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense, man. And I really appreciate you for that, you know, and that's something we've talked about before. Like, they don't really get us time to speak. I wish I could say some stuff. And that's the one thing I always say. I'm like, I wish I could get the mic and be like, hey, this is what it is. Like, congratulations to all the teams. Yes. So I really appreciate you, because at the end of the day, man, the team award, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, and I do. This is a big topic. This is a very big topic, because I know it's a lot of coaches want to know how do we win team awards? How did Big Sur win at fucking St. Pete, right? These guys, I don't even know, bro. We don't even know what's going on, bro. I swear to God,
I've heard it was like score. I heard it was like
I think it's different at every show. To be honest, I really do.
I'll go into that. I've talked to a lot of them, and exactly what we said is different at every show. It's pretty much how many athletes you have, how many people they think you brought to the show, and then kind of how the placing is. They do the placings, right? And yeah, I never really wanted to admit this, man. I never wanted to admit this, right? But after your post, I actually went ahead and I was like, you know what? I'm going to add up the fucking score. If this is true, I'm going to add up the fucking score. If this is what they're telling us, I'm going to do it. So I added up the score. You actually beat us by like 10 points at that show, because you had amazing athletes, right? Yeah. So I was kind of concerned. I reached out and I said, hey, how are these things actually done? Because I'm kind of fucking pissed. Like, I was actually about to give you the fucking team award. And they pretty much said all promoters can pick who they want. It just depends on number of athletes, how many people they brought to the stage, like how many people they think. Team War shit's fucking everywhere. You know,
but I think they didn't even know who I was. I don't think they knew who I was.
So here's another thing. You got to make sure, boy, when you do that, you got to go up to the promoter and talk. There's a little guy on the right that we usually talk to. He gives us a list.
Dude.
So we did that at the Sarasota show. We gave him a list of all the numbers. So in that, they would have like 11 people that show. Like, that was a pretty fucking big show.
My
for
athletes failed me in this.
So
that's what happened.
It wasn't that. It was you failed your athletes. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't go, and because you didn't know.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
But even then, man, like, the first team award I ever won, we won. Sorry, Dustin. We won. Was at the what was that? What was that? Tim Gardner's.
There's a Hurricane.
That's the first one me and Dustin ever won. Yeah. Did we know we were gonna win that?
No.
Bro, we had no fucking idea. We didn't even know there was a damn team award. And all of a sudden, they're calling our team award. What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
and me and Dustin just ran out there, and we're like, wow, what the hell? And it was us versus whoever we call it. So that is such a hard topic, man. And you know what? I've actually talked to a lot of people, and they don't really want to do it. They really don't want to, because it gets coaches like us like button heads and shit.
Yeah, there's no point for it.
You
There's
know,
none.
There's almost no point, but it is cool, man, because I think
it's really cool.
Big Serb's going to win the team award in St. Pete.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, he's got like 20-something athletes, and that is fucking amazing. You know, it's unbelievable, actually. And he's going to win the team award. But I think it's cool, and we've won a lot of them, right? And it's what do you got to say about that, man?
I mean, it's
because you've been there with me, right? Do they come up to us and say, "Hey, man, how many people you got today?"
No, they don't let us know anything. I mean, we initially, when we go in there for check-ins, we're like, okay, hey, this is how many people we got for the team, who we got to talk about with the team award, to get everybody in terms of their names or whatever the case may be in that regard. But I mean, in terms of winning one, it's kind of like that culminating event of all the hard work that we put into all of these athletes and getting them to stage and then get to see it. And so, I mean, I'm with you on that in terms of should there be a freaking team award? I mean, yeah, it is kind of cool, but at the same time,
and that's where you guys differ from me. Is what I'm saying is that I gave you guys props for you guys have a lot of athletes. Okay, that is going to be probably the only show that you will see that I will have a chance at getting a team award because I'm only bringing 2, maybe 3 people to a show.
Yeah.
You know, I have less than 30 athletes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's just not going to happen. So I think that was another thing too, is I put all my eggs into that basket. And I was like, I'm putting these good guys in my hometown.
Yeah.
I want everyone to know who the fuck I am. Okay. And I did that. And I was like, nothing to show for.
I mean, I could arguably.
It's not about me, and it's not about.
I could arguably say that you got robbed for the fucking bodybuilders.
The guy who won men's league won over bodybuilder.
Yeah, exactly.
Casey's legs were twice the size.
Dude, I was like, he didn't have any fucking legs.
It was wild, dude. We were ready. Like, oh, here comes Casey's name. And
what did we say backstage to you?
You guys said he was going to win.
We didn't just say that. We were helping all your athletes, bro.
Oh, no.
At that point,
it was great.
We kind of got on the same page there for a minute. You know 100%. What I'm saying? The one guy I really don't like, bro, is the Kyle Crum guy, bro. Why is he running his mouth, bro? He runs his mouth more than fucking anyone in this goddamn town. Do you not understand that like we were nothing but nice to him backstage?
Yeah.
Not even a week later, bro, we hear that he's talking shit about me and Dustin, bro. What is going on?
I think that it stems from the same reasoning that I had of the things that I say. You know, like where it could be one, and I'm not talking bad about Kyle because Kyle's a great friend of mine. Okay, like I don't want to air people's dirty laundry and things like that, but I think it is the same type of mindset. He likes to avoid all drama, but I think that a lot of people in this town want to avoid the drama, but want to have their cake and eat it too. They still want to talk shit.
Yeah,
you know, and I'll admit I was the same way. I think that all of us do it at some point, but I don't think he necessarily has a problem with you as a person.
We talked, by the way.
Yeah.
We talked. We are on good terms now.
And it's one of those things where I think that we hear things from other people. We take it as situational, like we believe it, and then we ridicule you on what we hear, whether that's true or not. And I guarantee you've heard things about me that are absolutely not true, and I know they aren't. And we look at each other and we get mad at each other over it whenever it's not even true information.
You want me to be honest with you, bro? I don't really hear much bad shit from you besides what you post.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah,
like I really don't. Do you? Like, we just hear what you post, and then people are talking shit about what you post, and they just don't think you're a good guy.
No.
And that's the big reason I wanted to come on, because when you first messaged us, you were like, I want to break bread. I want people to understand who the fuck I am and where I'm coming from. Yeah. And an hour and a half sitting down with somebody, you really get to find out who someone is. And it sounds like you've always had kind of the best intentions. You have a bad approach to things, which you're going to work on hopefully after this. If not, that's what it is. But you got to think, man, we've been in this town a long time, right? Me, you, Dominic, fuck him. But Dominic, Chris Massaro, he moved away, but he's still in this town. We're going to be in this town for a long time too. Big Serb, Dustin, we ain't going anywhere. So why are we always like this?
So I know we're pointing a lot of fingers at me and things that I need to work on. And I think that you have some things that also...
Perfect. Let me hear it.
I think you have some things that also... I think that you come off as arrogant a lot in your posts, that you are technically a know-it-all on a lot of things. I know that a lot of things that you do is probably clickbait, and that's totally okay. I get the content. I get it.
Ding, ding,
okay,
ding.
like don't eat a fucking banana. I get it. Okay. So, and the funny thing is, people came at me about that. I'm like, dude, he's not serious right now. Like, I'm like, you do not like. I got to this point in my life where I know now what the hell was going on. Back in the day, I didn't. So I think that a lot of people think you are an arrogant individual and I think that was another thing that frustrated me whenever you had Alice, is I felt like you felt like you were up here and I knew you were still down here at that point. Now I think you are, there's a lot of things that happen in the behind the scenes, and I'm going to bring that up to you here in a second, that I think that you've really turned the page, and that made me respect you a lot more. But I think it was the arrogance that a lot of people saw, and I'm arrogant as shit too. Okay. I get on my posts and that's what people see. And I think that people that are on my team or like that, like me, look at your posts and feel the exact same way as that your guys or the people that agree with your end think about me. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that really, really made me respect you in the past week is, hopefully he doesn't get mad at me for doing this, but your client, Alex, he came to me and he was talking about your coaching. And he was like, hey, this is what's going on. What do you think about this? And I go, I think that you paid Matt for this month. And I go, you addressed the things that you wanted to address. And I think that you need to give him the opportunity to fix those things. And then we were talking about how he goes back and forth on things and all that. And then he called me the next day. He goes, oh, me and Matt had a really good conversation. I was like, awesome, man. Like, that is great. Like, I want you guys to be successful together because he is a good coach, okay? I know he means well. And then he texted me like 3 days later, and he showed me what you had responded back to him whenever he said that he couldn't afford the coaching. And your response literally made me respect you so much, because it's things that I do to some of the athletes that can't afford me. And you were like, hey, man, you are still a part of my team no matter what. Like, we will always be boys. Like, if you want to I'll still help you with the plan, everything. Just follow the plan for right now. And whenever you get your feet under you, I will still be here. You are still part of the team. And I saw that, and I was like, I don't think the Matt from 6 years ago would have been that way. And I saw that, and I was like, I'm getting chills right now. Like, that's the shit that I love. Okay. Like, you looked out for this guy. That is what a true coach does. Okay. I've had 5 people in the past 3 months that had that same situation, and the money doesn't matter to me at this point. And whenever these people get their feet underneath them, they will always reward you back for the things that you do. And that's what makes you a good coach, a good mentor, a good role model. And that's something that maybe I wouldn't have done either 5-6 years ago, you know? So I just want to say, dude, how you handled that was
Thank you, man. Thank you. Because the thing is they honestly are like my family, bro. Like, when you coach people, like, you get so close with them. Like we started out just coaching. He's like my damn brother now, right? Like, you never know where these relationships go. And I think that money, I've always been like this. And you might not think I was like this forever, bro. I don't want to say anything too crazy, but like, I'll fucking say it. Fuck it. I'll say it off camera, but you're okay. There's some people that I've coached for free, bro, that you'd be shocked. Like, you'd be shocked, bro. Like, Dustin, I coach you for free. I do the whole time, bro. He got his pro card for free. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about money. Money comes and goes, man. To me, it's the connections that you make along the road.
Because that's going to make you money, though.
Exactly. You know how many clients Alex sends me, bro? Like, he is the most supportive person on this fucking team. So to me, why not just help this guy out, right? And like, why not be there for him? And I don't even give a shit about the money, bro. The money's always going to come. It's the athletes that really, make it worth it for me, dude, when I go at the end of the day.
I guess the main purpose of me really wanting to come on the podcast is to tell you these things that I wasn't able to tell you. And then on top of that, like, if each other's athletes are going to each other, I want to have that trust in knowing that everyone's getting good advice and information. We're not trying to take each other's athletes. We're all on the same fucking team.
Yep.
Okay. And I hate the shit talking that was going on. And I'll get into the last little drama piece of what had happened with, we'll talk about that, because I feel like a lot of people want to hear that. And that's where I said the behind the scenes bashing of each other, it just needs to stop. There's no point of that in this sport. That's why Goob has gotten so popular, is because it's just, I don't know what gets in these people's heads where they think they're above other people, or they could talk down on people, or whatever that may be. But the situation that happened with me, where everyone is friendly to my face in person, very, very friendly. And then we've squashed it. Me and Duke are awesome now. But there was a group chat of all the athletes, and they were bashing me at my national show. Now, did I look
Wait,
good?
they were bashing you at your national show?
Yes.
So what was, I tried to get a screenshot for a while, because I want to know. I want to see what was exactly said. What happened?
So there was a picture of me on, I think it was definitely my picture whenever I was in the lineup, because I screwed up my posing. Dude, I screwed up it so bad that my lower gut looked like it was just protruding. Like, I had abused GH and insulin. Like, because I obviously you're supposed to keep your chest up, flex your abs. I was chest down, and my lower abdomen was picking out because I was looking down at the judges, trying to like smile and be like, hey, I'm right here. Bad idea. So it looked terrible. They posted that in there. And they were basically like, oh, he can't even beat the Masters. Obviously saying all the shit that against me. Right. And there was people that were my past athletes, hint, hint, and people that were just friendly to me, saying they were my brother and they would do anything for me, and coming on this podcast and saying, oh, Chris John is awesome. I would, you know, and it was all fake. And it pissed me off, you know, because if you have a problem with me, like what you do, you get on the phone with me, you address it. Being in a group chat behind your back, and then it was so bad that one of your athletes texted me the entire thing, that's when you know you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I came and I addressed it. I texted every single person in that group chat. And I said, you have something to say about me, because that's how I address things. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it was my problem for finding out about the group chat and calling somebody else out. I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not the bad guy. I'm not. And then I start having people come to my house threatening to stab me outside of my house.
I wonder who that could be.
Oh, yeah.
You know about that? No. Yes, you did. I told you about that.
Yeah. No, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Because obviously these people don't care about me. So obviously the Masters thing really struck a chord with some people. Okay. Right. They talk shit. I called them back out. I said, I'll see you in person. Not a threat. I'll see you. Like if you want to keep being fake or whatever. Then I get a text message at 8 a.m. that is, I'm going to be at your fucking front door. Better be fucking ready. So I'm like, okay. I'm in my office doing my work, look through. I have a 2-story house. I'm looking through the window. I see a business vehicle drive by, honking his horn, yelling at me. I go downstairs. I look at my girl and I go, hey, I have to handle business. I'll be right back. She's yelling at me.
Oh, yeah.
Yelling at me. Don't you do this. You have a career. You're in the military. Yeah, don't do this. Don't do this. Because I'm still enlisted in the Coast Guard. Yeah. And I'm like, you don't come to my house and do this. So I walked out the front door. I get to the front of my driveway. I'm looking around where the vehicle went. I look to the left, and it's parked all the way down, I would say 500 feet down this way. And I hear a crazy guy yelling, I'm going to fucking stab you. I got to fucking kill you. Yelling. By the way, my neighbors are outside.
Oh, no.
In a family neighborhood.
Oh, gosh.
So I turn around and go, this isn't worth it for my neighbors to see me like this in a family neighborhood in Lakewood Ranch. I go inside. I filmed the whole incident of, by the way, never got out of his car, never came to my front door, because obviously that would be a very dumb fucking decision, okay? Mm-hmm. It would. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the best fighter or I'm going to beat your ass or anything like that. But I will. I'll throw hands. If anyone wants to throw hands, I will. But in that situation where you're threatening my life and stabbing me, I'm not going to take that risk. I don't know what your mental health state is.
For a reason. Yeah.
I do not know what drugs you were on. Yeah. I do not know what's going on in your head. I will not risk my life for that. So what I did is I went back inside my house. I filmed evidence. I went to the police station. I filed a police report, not a restraining order or anything like that. I just said, hey, this is what happened. I told the cop, if he comes to my house again, I'm going to handle business. I need you guys to know that. I need you to know that this wasn't me that did this. Mm-hmm. And I left it at that. And guess what? After that, we saw each other in the gym. He got a little mouthy. I said, you're not going to fucking do shit in front of his face. And nothing happened. So it's cool. So that's pretty much what happened there. There was no like Chris bitched out or anything like that. I value my fucking life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it comes down to. So.
Yeah. Wow. But a lot of stuff led to that. You just got to stop talking shit on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to stop talking shit about Masters Pro Cards. So let's be honest. That's where it all stemmed from.
So
to trigger somebody
that's what I'm saying. Like,
come on.
So I know a lot of, we're not even talking about the whole thing, because there's a lot of backstory to that, right? Yeah. Point of the thing is, right, is that we're all grown-ass adults. Every time that we've had a problem, right, when you reach out to me saying, hey, man, I'm sorry, what do I tell you?
This is like being back in school and the fucking teacher.
No, what did I tell you, bro? What do I tell you when you mess with me? I say, guys, we're in one fucking town. Like, Chris, we're in one town.
Yeah.
Let's be fucking cool. Let's squash the goddamn beef. Like, it's that simple. Let's just squash the beef, 100%. Squash it, and let's go back to fucking being boys, and let's fucking go win some shows.
And I think that's why me and Duke, it was so easy for us to squash it after that, because he said his piece, I said mine. And I literally told him, I was like, bro, if you want to go to an MMA gym and we throw down, I go, let's find a place. Like, if it needs to get to that. But I go, I think this is fucking stupid. I go, the main reason I'm calling is because it was shit talk. And I go, dude, we don't mean it. I was like, dude, I like you. I said that to him. I was like, dude, I like you. I was like, I'm not bitching out here. Like, it's not one of those things. I go, I like you as a person. I've said nothing but good things most of the time. and we squashed it. Now you have someone coming and screaming at my front of my house driving by. That's going to take a little bit longer to mend that thing. And we've been next to each other at the gym since then, and it's not, there's no animosity there. Like obviously we're not going to talk to each other or anything like that, but it's just one of those things where, like I said from the very beginning of this podcast, there's no point of getting into these little spats anymore in our town.
I agree.
We're Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch. Like this is our spot,
absolutely.
and we need to be protecting our own because technically it's like everyone else.
Everyone,
exactly. So,
and that's where I've always been, man. I've always been like that. You know me, bro. We've been going back a long time. Like I've always said that, dude. We're in one town. There's no reason to talk crap. Why do you think I'm cool with you? Why do you think try to be cool until now, but why do you think I'm cool with you? Why do you think me and Dominic, bro, tried to solve shit for a while there, man. And I really tried with that kid, but he is just a lost fucking cause. We all know he's tapped. But at least you're savable.
Yeah, he decided he wanted to like my girl's picture the other day too.
What did he do?
Fucking weirdo. Anyways,
what he liked it?
Yeah, he just randomly 3 days ago liked my girl's picture. That's weird.
Yeah,
but.
You know what's weird, man? Also, man, is you have some people on your team, bro, that like. They some stalkers, bro. You got some stalkers on your team, boy.
If I say so, you better cut this shit out because I know you motherfucker. I know I'm not even gonna say it because I know your ass will fucking. Full send.
He's clipping it.
He's like, I'm gonna hold this for whenever you fucking talk shit again.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're right. I think Drew was it Drew that posted something? Oh no, it's not Drew that you know. Do you know Andrew Cleveland?
Yes.
He had posted something about it the other day. He goes,
what did he do?
He's basically saying like, if I see your name on anybody that's above a 6 out of 10 on Instagram and your name comes up under the likes, he goes, you need to stop.
No, it's insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, we just talked about this last podcast. Like the same people hit up like the same girls on my team, like the same ones, bro, like with the same pickup line and everything, Anyway, we can get all into that later, but wow. Yeah. There's some messes in this town, man. And like our job is to bring them all together. And the one thing I don't want, man, is the one thing I think we both don't want is for us to leave this podcast here today, go back. And then when I win a pro card, which I will win in a universe, I don't want to see some shade. Okay. Because
I'm going to tell you right now,
I don't want to see
the same thing I promised Duke, where I said I would never talk shit about him again or anything like that. Like I mean that whenever I look at you and I say that, like, it's not worth it to me anymore to have any extra stress in my life or to worry about other people's business. Because for one, like I said, it was solely me or you making assumptions on things other people said, or a jealousy of one thing or whatever that may be. And it's just not worth it. So the same thing with Duke. I said to him, I'm like, hey, like this ain't worth it. We're moving on. You won't hear another word from me on talking shit, whether that's Masters Pro cards or anything like that. Same thing with you. I haven't said shit about any of your athletes or anything for the past 6 months. I've been quiet. My post, I mean, the most critical person that I had was Casey. No, tell me what I posted. Casey was the most critical person.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna look up somewhere.
And he basically came to me. He's like, bro, the reason why I got so mad at you is you were posting things that I didn't agree with. And you were just so adamant on things that like started to piss me off. And that he really turned my idea around on some of these things. And do I still post, I would say, controversial things? I'm never going to stop.
Hold on. My shit's going to die. This is what you posted. It's hilarious to me that any idiot with can get a microphone and camera and start a podcast. You have the dumbest people making content, spreading misinformation. Just because you're in a fancy studio and are speaking on a camera does not mean that you are something. You are still just an imbecile. The difference is you record it for everyone to see. So
not you, not you. Swear to God.
Okay, so
cross my heart. Hope to die. Swear to God.
Hold on. So when shit like that gets posted, bitch, you need to message me, motherfucker.
No, yeah,
because that's us.
Well, I think I was
got to be hashtag not mad.
No, but I think I was blocked at that. I swear to God, it was not about you guys. I saw a random like reel come by, and these dumb fucking young kids are going off about all this certain drug usage, and they're like 19 years old, and they're just in a fancy studio. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, these guys have no experience in the game, and these kids are looking up to them.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, the crazy thing is, bro, whenever we were coming up in the game, we didn't know better. Bro, they were selling steroids at Vitamin Shop.
Yes, they were.
I literally got on pee stands. It was Winstrol. I got gyno off of Winstrol, dude. And I was playing basketball, my nipple, guy ran into me and it hurt so bad, almost brought me to my knees. I felt it. There was a lump. I was like, what is this? I got it from a Vitamin Shop oral. And there was no information out there for us. Like we were just taking what we were wanting. And now there's all this information out there for kids to look at. And they have all these young LA influencers and things like that telling them that Trend is awesome. Like we have the Trend twins and they're saying, oh yeah, blast Trend, not realizing that what that's going to do later in your life. Like me trying to have kids right now, the shit that I did before affects me. Oh, yeah. And I didn't want kids. I didn't want kids whenever I was 25, 26. Now, what do I I have to live with those decisions, but I didn't realize that back then. You know, so we have these people that are making these podcasts or this content and things like that, and they're not realizing that how damaging some of this stuff can be. And I know it's great. Everyone has their voice, freedom of speech, cool. But that's what I meant by that post is there's some fucking idiots, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm probably one of them, bro. I say some stupid shit sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's all.
But it's Second Amendment, you know what I'm saying?
We all do.
Like, yeah. I just know that when you do post stuff like that, just shoot me a message, Big Matt, this isn't about you, man. Because I'm telling you, bro, I get like 10 people sending me this
PTSD
shit.
and shit.
And I don't even care. I was like, I'm not even responding to this. Like, it was probably not. I actually did think it was about me until right now, but giving you the benefit of the doubt, right? So it's gonna happen in the future. Just shoot me and Dustin a message and be like, yo, bro, this isn't about you.
Yeah. So like when I first came on to the team and everything like that, and then I don't know, maybe it was probably like prior to my first competition with you or whatnot, and then I think you might have went on a rant or something.
Probably. Probably.
He's like, man, this motherfucking Christian, and I was like, I think I remember this guy. I've seen you out or something or whatnot. And then he kept telling me about some of the shit that you were talking, and I'm like, I have no dog in this fight or anything like that. I can make my own opinion about him as it goes. But then it continued to grow because then, as he was saying, your team started to kind of like take on your persona of what you thought potentially about Matt, and then we're essentially talking shit about, the rest of our team, and it started to spread like that. And to me, I mean, again, I'm more of that family-oriented, old school, let's bring everybody together type of stuff. And, we do live in a small town, and it should be like that. And then I started to see, like, man, was this like fucking gangs and shit? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Oh, yeah, we got Christian on stage. Look at this fucking warrior. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. I end up winning my pro card, and then I want to go ahead and, get my go for the Olympia, and I was really hyped about this and trying to push forward. And then your boy Casey, he got up into my DMs, started talking shit a little bit to me, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? I had no idea. I was like, dude, I met you once over at the Sarasota show, and then, anyways, to me, I'm like, dude, we live in a freaking small town. I'm gonna see you.
I'll give you a little tidbit on how some people operate. Now, I know I operate this way, and I'm not saying it's right. Yeah. It's not right at all, okay? But some people are more successful, and they operate at a higher level whenever they have beef with someone, or they make this imaginary beef because they think you look amazing.
Right, true. I get that.
They think you look amazing. They're like, how do I motivate myself to beat him?
Yeah.
I need to talk shit. And I was that way. I played basketball.
I get it.
I played hockey and basketball. I was the biggest shit talker on the court because I felt like if I belittled these people and did it, they were going to talk shit back to me. It would fuel me.
Exactly.
It would fuel me. And I'm like, yeah, you talk shit to me, and I feel like that's how I felt with you. I was like, every time I would do it, I would get that response back. I'm like, yeah, now I got something to work for. Like now I'm going to coach better. I'm going to be competing better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's now in my life that is a good approach, but that's how I fueled myself.
I can hear that.
And you'll see my stories. I'll do shit like that. Like I'm just like, I'm trying to get somebody's reaction to talk shit about me. Like I like in person talk shit. Like I'm a guy. I like that stuff. And I want that because it fuels me. And I think Casey is kind of a little bit of a mirror image of me. Because he's 26 years old, he kind of has that same mindset, and I think that's why he did that to you. Did he mean any of it?
Probably not, And I ended up seeing him. We talked, and you know what I mean. Ended up squashing whatever, and I know he's a good dude. I want to get a lift in with him. You know what I mean. But I know he's a younger kid, and it's just it's frustrating for somebody like me. I'm older, been around prior Marine and shit like that. You're gonna get up in my fucking DMs. I'm gonna see you.
I think people don't realize how old you are.
Absolutely.
They probably think you're like 32, bro. Especially whenever you shave that beard.
Yeah. That's like I get it. But no, Casey's a good dude. But I mean, just from an outsider's looking in and understanding where you guys have come from, and knowing that, you have that competitive edge with each other. It's fueling the fire. You guys want to kind of be closer. You have like so much in common. Could be an amazing and continued friendship, but then you just have these like small competitive irks that just want you're just digging at each other. So I mean, it's just interesting again from that outsider's perspective looking in, and I'm I've been wanting to get this freaking podcast to happen pretty much since we started here. I kept kind of putting it in his ear, and he's like, no, I don't think so. But then, then you reached out, and I was like, fucking, let's go.
At a certain time.
Yeah. They had to be
timing,
reaching out.
Timing for sure.
I couldn't reach out.
I think that was cool.
When he was ready. When you were ready, I was going to take you on.
100%.
Dominic, I mean, it's hard to say no, but that's a different one. And I got to say, man, like, I would not be the coach I am today without you guys. I promise to God, swear on everything, bro. You guys push me to be this person because I've always been the person that you talk about motivation, right? I don't know why you guys got to talk shit to get motivated. For me, I take all the negative fuel and I put it into fucking productive action, bro. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I was kind of depressed, man, to be honest with you. Like, when I was being attacked by you guys, like, seriously depressed a little bit. Cause I'm like, dude, I'm trying here. Like, I have 2 kids. I'm trying to fucking, let's be honest, I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to do something I love doing and make money at it. And I got these 2 guys, man, that I looked at. You guys have more clients than me, bro. I remember texting Dom like, dude, I don't know why I have 2 clients, bro. Why are you getting on my ass? You got all the fucking athletes. Like, I have 2 clients, man. Why are we getting mad at Matt? Why are we talking shit about Matt? So I had something to prove, not to me, but also to like you guys, man. Like, I'm like, I want to shove this fucking negativity down the goddamn throat, bro. Yeah. I want to come and be so goddamn successful that they're just, they understand that I'll just make me eat their fucking words. That was my thought process, right? And I think after a few years, that kind of dwindled.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's always in my back of my head, but same thing as competing, dude. I would not have had my overall if it was not for you guys and was not for that classic kid or whatever the fuck his name is for calling me marshmallow conditioning. He's like, you're gonna bring marshmallow conditioning.
Wait, he called it about you?
He's randomly, bro.
I have no idea how this came about. So
you know who it is?
No, I have no idea.
The classic kid or whatever it is. He's
wait. Oh,
you know who it
is?
is?
Oh my God.
You know who he is? He's so he was either being coached by Dominic or you were coaching him.
No, he was with Cement Factory.
Could be that guy. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So long story short, he just randomly messaged me. I have screenshots. Randomly messaged me saying, "You're shit. You're nobody. You're not going to be anything special, man. You're going to bring that same shit marshmallow condition like you did the last show." And I said, "Bro, who are you, bro? Oh, you think I need to be known by some random guy?" And I said, and I just didn't ignore him. But that just stuck with me. So I made shirts on it. And I put my hashtag marshmallow conditioning.
I remember now. You just jogged I finally remember. Yeah. Cause I remember the post and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah. So I think he was like in Dominic's corner, like they were boys or something. Right.
Yeah, they were.
And so that was like when it really started for me, man. Cause I was like, dude, I'm just doing my thing, man. I have 500 followers, bro. I'm just trying to do my shit. And I have these coaches that really I look up to, like talking shit about me. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn it into being a fucking winner. And that's what I did. I did win. And I've said it multiple times. I think I'm a shit amateur. Like, I'm going to be honest, man. I have no desire to go and pass, but I can be a tremendous coach. And all the hard work that I put in and all my coaches put in, it's not, Warrior Aesthetics isn't me anymore, man. Like, Team Warrior isn't me anymore. Like, we have Dustin, we have Raven. He has 30 athletes, 40, 50. I'm not even know exactly a lot. Raven, same thing. We have a lot of athletes in town. It's so much more than just Madman, and that would have never happened if it was not Chris John and Dominic Fanti talking shit about me. So I gotta say thank you to you guys because you made me who I am, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that like the whole bringing me onto the podcast shows the people in the area that we want to be this way. Like, we want to be peaceful. And do I think that some people are beyond repair? I do, and I think that that's okay. But I want all your athletes to know that I don't have any ill will against them. I have no bad opinions about any of them. I mean, I reached out to Jennifer. I actually reached out to Natalia about some things because I wanted to clear the air and be like, hey, this is what I meant by these things. Like, I don't think you're understanding where I'm coming from. And Jennifer was awesome. Like, me and her, we've had some great conversations about things, and we went back and forth in the DMs and really like talked about some of the things that we did today. And I just think that this area, we have too many good people and too many good ideas to bounce off of each other. And I would hate to have the feeling like I had to where I'm walking into a gym and having to see somebody that I don't get along with and feeling uncomfortable in the one place that I love.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would see you at Crunch and it would bother me. And that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why? For what reason? Because we have some differences. Like I said, it's okay to have differences. It's okay to have our own opinions. I think that a lot of people create too many fights off of opinions. And I will be the first to say I do that. And moving forward, at least with me, I said this to Casey before because he called me. He's like, oh, you're going on the podcast. Like, how's your headspace today? I go, I'm good. I go, because I take a moment now to breathe before I respond and say, hey, is this really what I want to say? And to what you said earlier is like, sometimes you just pop off. I mean, my nickname in college was Crash Out Chris. I mean, that's I've done that, you know, like I spit. And what I've been trying to do for the past, I would say 6 months is, hey, take a step back. Do I really mean what I'm about to say? And I can't tell you how many times I have typed out stories, let them sit there, read them again 10 minutes later and go, this does not look good. You know, like who's going to, even if it's not about somebody, who's the shoe going to fit to where they're going to get mad? And I'm like, it's not worth it.
Is the juice really worth the squeeze?
It's not,
you know?
It's not. And I think that there was a handful of clients that had left me because of the things I do. Your client, Josh, I think was one of them. Casey left me. And I'm not afraid to get on these cameras and say that people left me for some of the negative things I did. And that's okay as well. And I had to take a step back and learn. I think that's what we've been really good at in the past couple of years is taking a step back and learning from the bad things that we've done or the things that probably didn't make sense to a lot of people. And we're like, hey, how did this affect these people? Or how did it affect my business? Oh, it wasn't good. Okay, we need to try something different. And that's what I did. So
No, I think it shows a lot of maturity, man. Like you have definitely, since this podcast, really just today, man, you showed me that you are a different person and maybe you were, you know, you had your own approach on things. And I think that if, you know, the whole jealousy or anger or whatever it is, you just got to have that motivation, man. Like obviously 100%. Not everyone's wired the same, right? I'm just hoping that we leave this podcast, man. We're good, right?
100%.
And none of your athletes slide into Dustin's DMs anymore. Okay? Can we get some support? Because we fucking need it, bro. Okay, because we had a rough season last year. You know, it's just it was definitely sad, man. The whole case thing that was sad with Dustin, man. And like, I blocked him immediately. That's what I did. I just blocked him, and then I unblocked him. I'm like, after he apologized to Dustin and shit, I'm like, I don't block this kid. But
I mean, I know he's a good kid. I know he means well. I mean, it's just interesting to bring up to kind of see like
much.
What's that?
You don't really care
I feel
much.
like Dustin's very
mellow.
Ultra mellow.
It didn't bother me much, but at the same time, I was like, you know, we're in a small town. I'm going to see you. And so when I saw him at the gym, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. I took my headphones off. I was like, hey, what's going on, man? And he's like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit, he came out to me. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'll tell you.
But no, I know he's a good kid. We'll get a lift in soon. I know every time I see him, we talk and shit. And,
I think he's came a long way too.
Yeah,
and I think that it's something to be said, man, when people can admit that they maybe said some mistakes, right? Because he did apologize. I think he even apologized to me for Dustin, right? Because I probably snapped on him. I take shit personally, man. And people don't understand how much I care about my athletes, bro. Like they're like family to me, bro.
Exactly.
You know, so when I hear somebody that all their hard work, me and Dustin see it, man. Our athletes work so hard. They get on stage, and just to see that somebody locally is going to talk shit, it's like, dude, we already get enough outside hatred from the entire world. This is not where we need it in town. And that's why I'm hoping that people really see this podcast, bro. And man, it's still like that right now with like, I'm going to be honest, bro. First I'm saying it, bro. Big Serb's team, bro. For some reason, they have it out for my team. Like there's been,
there's some of them that just,
there's some of them that are
shit. I don't know.
Right. Like the universe post that I put up, right. Where I was like, we have 12 athletes, right. One of their kids, Dalton, I'll be honest, I don't really care. Dalton came sliding in there and started going off. And then the Shea girl started jumping in there. So I messaged Shea. I'm like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like, this is a very sensitive subject. Stay out of it. Well, they need to do more shows than just the Melchansy shows. Okay, lost cause. So I just did not even mess her back. It's just the point is, man, there's got to stop being so much hatred in town with the coaches, man, and the teams. Like exactly what Dustin said. It feels like it's a fucking gang.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm just focusing on my athletes. My athletes just focus on the goal. And when we make a post and there's this hatred from local people,
we're
it's
doing
crazy.
this all to be better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally the point. And I feel like people, for some reason, get in this like headspace to where it's them against the world, and it's the wrong place to be. We are all going to the gym to self-improve, or it's our happy place after work or before work. And why the fuck are we talking shit about someone's physique? We don't know what goes on in their day-to-day life. We don't. Like I could have had the worst day of my life before Universe. I could have had a stomach bug. I could have needed to take 20 Gas X pills before I got on. And then you're going to discredit all of my hard work because I didn't look good at that 1 second, because the bodybuilding shows that 1 second, you know? And it's just, I just hope people watch this and they realize that this is all for a positive thing. It's very hard to get into the gym day after day alone, that alone. Now to do a diet on top of that, do cardio on top of that, raise a family like you on top of that, You have the same thing. Your job is crazy. I mean, you have kids that you have to go home to do football practice and things like that. Yep. We don't know what goes on in everybody's life. And if you're able to even get into the gym at the end of the day, no matter if you're 400 pounds, 500 pounds, or the most shredded guy in the gym, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're going to talk shit about someone else, there's something underlying on in your life that is affecting you to where you're having to lash out on that person. So like for me, I felt insecure somehow in my own brain about your success or something that happened. So it made me lash out. Or Jeff got his pro card and I was like, well, I can't have a fucking pro card, right? He got an easy one in Masters. I'm going to lash out. It's always lashing out because you have a deeper insecurity in yourself. Because if you don't, well, what do you have to talk shit over?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I respect you a lot now for at least admitting what we all know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's hard to do, bro. What you did today and sit down with us and be honest and be open, it's so fucking hard to do. So I appreciate that. I know Dustin appreciates that. The world is gonna appreciate that. And that goes so much further, man, because I hate when, like, if I were to sit down with you and you were super defensive, you never did anything wrong. It's not jealousy, you just suck. It would have just been, it wouldn't have worked. You know what I'm saying? But because you're so open and honest, man, like I've been, and I'm always really open and honest. And I think we were able to come to a great understanding today, man. And I think it's fucking phenomenal. You know, we're gonna have you back on and get in depth on other topics than just
exactly.
Actually
spit some fucking knowledge. I mean, this was that establishing podcast to, again, kind of like bring the world here, Sarasota, back together. And if we can bring more athletes and coaches here together in this small stage that we got, I think that would be, pretty cool. And just that community alone is just going to continue to grow. So,
and I know a lot of my athletes are going to be watching this. Your athletes are going to be probably going to be one of the more watched podcasts that you've had, right? And I hope that my athletes, I'm talking to you, don't say stupid shit anymore. Okay, there's no point to it. Same thing goes for your guys. It's like there's no point to have the animosity. We're all one team, and I know at least you guys have my word going forward, and we're boys. Like I've always said, I'm not going to pop off. Yeah, not worth it. So
you know what I also think is really important, man. I think it's really important when we hear shit, right? Or if you hear shit, and I think this goes for people love talking shit. It's not even fucking true, bro. You don't even understand how many people say, like, Matt does no carbs, that's why he gets his side. He's shredded. Matt pumps all the drugs. That's why we're going to talk about it. That's why he gets everyone shredded. Yeah. What happens is one hater, bro, will start talking to this person and then it spirals. So what we need to do as a fucking community is stop doing that shit. And if you really think something, like if I hear something about you, I swear I don't even fucking think about it. Like, I don't even think about it. I don't even care, especially going forward. So just know that I'm going to hold you in high regard now. Yeah. Dustin's going to hold you in high regard. Absolutely. Our team, Warrior Aesthetics, bro, I swear to God, we try our best to not fucking be crazy and not talk shit. Like, you should see our team chat. If we ever had one person talk shit in a team chat ever,
and if they do, we kind of like put them in their place.
That's good.
Absolutely. I will drop a fucking client, bro. Yeah, I will drop a fucking client. If any of my clients ever did the shit that they did to you, it'd be done. Yeah. It'd be done, bro. You could say whatever the fuck you want with me, like in private, fine. Yeah. But if you post that shit for the whole town to see and the world to see, that's why I have a problem with that shit, right? Like, just like you said, you can hate. You could say it was the worst quality ever at Melchansy, right? You don't got to post it. You could talk to me. You could talk to the people, talk to your girlfriend. Like, God, it was a horrible show. But posting it's different, right? And that's why I think that, people got to be careful doing that shit. Like, this is a small town, guys. We're here for each other. And that's how it's got to fucking stay. And you will never hear my team talking shit. And if you do, let me fucking know and I'll handle it. And they know it.
And that's another thing that, I've heard it from other people, is every single time there has been a problem with like you hearing something about someone else, I've always heard that, hey, Matt asked to give me a call or Matt hit me up. Like, you've always went to go get to the source and be like, hey, let me clear this up for you. And there's some things that you cleared up with me today that, like I said, I made assumptions. I had no idea the backstory on it. Yeah. And it's like, holy shit. Now that I heard the backstory, it makes a lot more sense. Like, especially the Alice thing with like putting her up on wellness. I never even thought her powerful attitude that she has. I didn't even think of that.
No idea, bro.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. So don't make assumptions. That's really all it comes down to.
And it's tough because when you hammer me about that, I wanted to reach out to you and be like, dude, like, you don't understand what I was going through, right? Like, Alice used to present, she wanted to do this shit. Yeah. So it's like, but I was like, you know what? It's not even worth it. It's not, and that's where I was at. And that's why I had you blocked for so many years, because I was like, I just don't want to fight, bro. I don't want to deal with it. I'm trying to focus. You don't understand how busy, like, you do understand actually. Yeah. You've had 30 clients before, 40 clients, right? I have more than that, bro. Yeah. Like, it's a lot of work that we put in. Our phones, bro, don't stop ringing. The last thing I want to do is worry about like fighting with Chris John and having him. It's fine. We'll just block them and we'll talk them later, right?
Exactly.
So we ended up doing that. And there was something else I was going to fucking say. Okay, as far as my content goes, bro, right? Yes, I say some controversial shit. Okay, guys, you can eat
Rage
fucking
bait.
bananas. Okay,
You just rage baits.
So what I did is I started working with a professional guy, right? And we're trying to pick controversial shit. I'll be honest. We pick controversial shit to talk about. You hammer the first 15 seconds and then you give some kind of facts, right? So I'm like, yeah, you're shit, bro. Why are you eating bananas? You're fucking fat. Blueberries are a better option, right? Which I do think blueberries are a healthier option for fat loss, right? And so it's funny. People think my content, it's not me being arrogant and cocky. It's just, bro, I'm just trying to grow my fucking followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime you can sit down with me, man.
But in your mind, it's not arrogant. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like the same thing as me posting the Masters thing. In my head, I'm like, fuck, I'm spitting right now. Like this is it. Like this is gonna get me bites right here.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, the most stories that I ever get watched, are the fucking ones that 100%. I do that. You know, and probably your best content is that stuff. So I think we have the same mindset. That the only problem is I don't elaborate after it. I just let it simmer. I'm like, here we go.
That's what it is.
It's weeks, and then I'll get a freaking knife pulled on me outside my house. You know, but. I think it's really,
awesome.
you know, what you said is true. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand where you're coming from on these things. And then I get the DMs sent to me like, do you believe Matt fucking said this?
love that.
And it's like, I get it. Like, it's fucking, that's dumb as fuck what he said, but I know what he's doing. Like, that's the point. Like, do you not learn from me? Like, what? Like,
you shared it to me. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Like, what? So,
dude, that's so fucking funny, man. And the amount of times I get, you know, people making videos on me now, like they'll take my viral videos, bro, and they'll make clips of it, but they'll cut it off with like, you're fat as fuck if you eat a banana, cut it, bro, and they make a whole video on it. Like these popular people. I don't care, man.
And once you realize the world is a toxic place like that, and that's how people get views and things like that, that you don't, like you said, just disregard it, move on with your life. No point of dwelling on it, because the more you dwell on these things, you get angry like I did. And you're like, fucker. You know?
Yeah. And I gotta say, man, you people might think I'm arrogant and cocky, bro, but I still feel like I'm at the bottom today. Why would I feel like I'm anything, bro? Like, there's Honey Rambot owning fucking gyms. Chris Bumstead has his own gym. He's the fucking best ever. You got Chris Aceto, one of the best coaches in the world. I'm trying, but I still feel like I'm at the bottom. I mean, ask us, how many times have we talked about that, bro? Like, it doesn't matter how big we get. I'm still going to feel like I'm at the bottom.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that people are different. Okay. You are allowed to be cocky and arrogant. You are allowed to have that personality. Okay. If you're winning and you're making your clients look good, there is nothing wrong with what someone says about you being cocky and arrogant. Now, that's their opinion, and they may think of it as a negative light. But honestly, stepping back and looking at it, I don't think that's a negative for you. I think that shows your athlete's leadership, and that makes them believe in you, that you are so confident in the things that you do that you're able to get them to the finish line, or you're able to accomplish this business venture, or whatever that may be. So I think a lot of people that don't have a powerful, deep inner meaning like you do don't mesh, like don't understand the logic of it. But people like me that have that same type of arrogance and attitude, and we want to win it all the time, and like we want to be the best that we can be, I understand where you're coming from. So it's like you just got to take the good when you can, and then the bad with the bad, just leave that bad over there, you know?
100%, man. 100%. Man, this is a good one, dude. This is a good one. I think that's about time, man.
Yes, sir.
It was a long one.
We'll talk about all the good coaching stuff next time.
Exactly, man. This was the first one. This was to get everyone excited. This one's gonna be a big.
Yeah, because I mean, I want to know, because you're being coached by Cuts and shit, right? You know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of the questions that I got for that.
Exactly. We'll get on that in a couple months.
I think that'll be cool.
Yep. You prepping for a show right now?
Yeah. What's going on with that?
So I was going to do that St. Pete show. And go right into Universe. But so this is a story in itself. But I started prepping because Cuts wanted me to prep, and he thought I was good enough last year to do it. We were going to do USAs, but I had military duty, and I asked the promoter if I could check in a day, like the next morning, and he said I couldn't. Even with my military papers, he said I couldn't. He's like, oh, we have like 5 or 6 people that want to do the same thing. We can't do it. I was like, okay, whatever. That's kind of dumb in my opinion, but it is what it is. So I was like, I'm going to take a year off, come back and do Universe again. I was 12 weeks out. I'll admit it. I did a hair transplant procedure.
Oh, nice.
And I had to take a week off. And then I was like, you know what? Like took a whole week off. I felt great. And I was making such good gains in the gym. And I was like, why am I prepping for another show? If I get my pro card, am I going to look like a top 5 competitor? I'm like, no, I'm not going to. So I'm like, do I really want that pro card if I'm not going to be competitive on the pro stage? Right. And I started to think, and I gave myself a couple of days, like, do you really want to drop? And I kept doing my prep and doing the things I had to do. And I was like, you're not having fun prepping right now. Like you're not in this. Your head's not in it. You keep questioning yourself. And I know the difference because I've been doing this so long. Like I'm questioning myself because I look like shit, or I'm questioning myself because I'm not having a good time and I don't want to do it. Right. I didn't want to do it. I was having such a good time growing in the gym, lifting heavy weights, doing those things. I was like, I hit him up. I was like, hey, Ariel, I don't want to do this. I was like, I want to take a couple months off, let my transplant recover a little bit, get my body to recover a little bit, make a push, and then do a show next year so that at least I can grow and maybe look the part better on a pro stage. Because what's the point of me getting a pro card if I just get a pro card? So I pulled out of it. I'm going to do one. I don't even know what show I'm going to do. I'm Say Universe now, but it could change. Whenever my heart's back in it again to do it, I'll do it.
So we will never see Christian on a master stage.
Oh, I'm not promising that. there has been discussions.
There we go. He's the Masters competitor now, guys.
So I was thinking about doing the Masters at North Americans, and whenever Duke was in the stands, I was going to win the Masters and throw my pro card out and be like, I don't even want this. This doesn't count. I was like, that would be the best thing to do. But no, I don't think I'll do a Masters qualifier. But like if I got my pro card, like what you did, like I would do the Masters class. Would I do it in my 30s? No, I would do it in my 40s.
Yeah, and that's what's cool, man. I mean, I like the Masters Olympia since they came back out with that, because that gives us like such a real chance. Because I think last year we would have won the 40s, no problem, right?
Oh yeah.
And as you know, you got to build your name. It's all about your fucking name, right? Andre, he's really good, but still his name, bro. He's first calls. Just by his name alone, he's getting first calls, right? So I think when you turn pro, it's about building your name. And I also think that it would just be fucking cool to go to Tokyo, bro.
I think
what do you
Tokyo
think,
would be dope, dude.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. I think the Masters Olympia would be sick, bro.
That's our goal, is to get 40 plus. We're only really...
I mean, obviously I want to get to the Olympia, but you know, we're going to go to St. Pete. We're going to hit the 40 plus and then the
So do you have to get invited to the Masters Olympia, or do you
gotta win?
So for
win?
There's I think the classes, I think bodybuilding, you might be able to.
Yeah, bodybuilding is different.
I think bodybuilding you can apply.
Bikini and physique, I know for sure.
You have to qualify a 40 plus.
So Jacqueline got second. That's why we were so upset, because she got second in the 40s, and that was like her last show ever, I think. And like that was it. We really wanted that, and it was fucking close. And I thought she should have had it.
You got to hold that over your head.
Yeah. So we had to step it down. But anyways, that's our goal this year, man. And
you'll do it. You'll do it.
I think we got a great shot. I mean, last year we would have got it, I think, because we actually he was sweating like crazy, bro. When we were fucking, dude, it was like drenched.
I don't know what it was, dude. I mean, just the pro stage in general, dude. Pro stage, this is the most I've sweat.
Really?
Yeah, I've never fucking
profusely.
I don't think I have it either. Yeah,
he's so dry, it's the nerves, man. He might even say it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So nervous, bro. Where like Masters, he was just completely fucking drenched.
Never experienced.
Bro, he actually, which I actually got to respect the judges for, because when he came out for Open, he actually placed better in Open and beat a guy that he lost to in Masters in Open.
Yep.
Because so it was a sweat.
It was the nerves. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we got third in 35, and then but if you were to look at the 40s, the only person who technically beat us that day was 35. So we have a really good shot, I think.
You've grown since then.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
You're going to learn from those mistakes that you did before, and that's all the sport is about. Just getting better every year, and you'll do it, man. Just stay positive. Think you're going to win. Like you always say, you're like, we're coming for it all. That's all you got to do.
Yep. I got to say, that's the one thing I did instill in my athletes, man. Go for the fucking win. Yeah, like, even if you're not gonna, even if you don't think you're gonna win, go for the fucking win. My boy fucking Justin went and won, bro. He was fucking 350 pounds.
Bro, I went up to him in the gym and I complimented him.
Did you?
Over at
he said that actually.
Hampton Tuttle. I was like, bro, you looked. I saw him. I was at that show. I was like, what the hell? Because I saw him before. I was like, is that the same guy? Because I know you had posted stories and stuff with him, and I was like, holy crap! And then seeing him in the gym, how big his shoulders and arms are, dude, the genetics, bro.
Dude,
I'm like, what? Imagine if he did this earlier.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, I'm jealous of that stuff. Like, I'm the skinniest dude in the world. Like, it takes me everything. So it's like, I just told him, I was like, bro, you look great. Like, I gotta give you props. So
he did. He actually called me. He's like, your fucking enemy. He said some nice fucking things to me, man. Like, I actually kind of like him, and I'm like, I'm like, shit. But good times, man. Hey, sure, man. Brother, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yep, for sure.
We're gonna get you on again. That was a good episode. Dustin, tell them what we got to do, man.
Oh, yeah. Hit that like, subscribe, bell notification so you know when we're posting more of these vids. And thank you so much for tuning in to this freaking episode. Hopefully we cleared the air and got some of that stuff out and bringing Sarasota closer together. But, stay tuned for the next one. It's going to be good. Much love, many blessings. Let's get it.